strong and youthful men. For God and country, freely pledge we all, led by the flag for which we stand. Blue for the mind that seeks the good and true, red for our progress in the game, white for the glory of a heart that's pure, bright with an ever-shining flame. Alma Mater, we hail, Lord give the earth and grace success. With truth and love we'll conquer all, for God our land and SFS. Alma Mater, we hail, God give the earth and great success. With truth and love we'll conquer all, for God our land and SFS. With truth and love, let us united be, true to our glorious college name. High on the hill, a beacon light is she, leading her children on to faith. March on to glory is a message full, spread truth and love will far and wide. Loyal to the hands who reigns of guidance school, teacher and pupil side by side. Alma Mater, we hail, God give the earth and great success. With truth and love we'll conquer all, for God our land and SFS. Alma Mater, we hail, God give the earth and great success. With truth and love we'll conquer all, for God our land and SFS.
Hello, good evening all. Good evening. I, Dr. Aruna Haridas, Assistant Professor, Chemistry Department.
Ma'am, your mic is off.
Hello, good evening. I, Dr. Aruna Haridas, Assistant Professor, Chemistry Department, SFS College, Nagpur, and your host for the day. Welcome one and all to this platform. It gives me immense pleasure to be associated with you for the day in this pleasant evening on occasion of National Nutrition Month. To begin with, I take this opportunity to welcome our respected principal, Dr. K.T. Thomas, sir, Mrs. Varsha Tatwawadi, President Pratibha Shakti, members of Pratibha Shakti, and respected staff and dear students of SFS College. I feel privileged and honored to welcome our guest, today's guest speaker, Dr. Pratibha Shastri, Madam. St. Francis de Sales College, also known as SFS College, Nagpur, established in 1956, is a general degree college in Nagpur, Maharashtra. SFS College offers varied courses in basic and applied sciences and arts. It is affiliated to Rashtrasanta Tukadoji Maharaj Nagpur University. Located in lush green hills of Seminary Hills, its atmosphere is conducive to learning. The college aims at the holistic development of its students, making them brighter citizens of glorious nation. I would now like to request Mrs. Varsha Tatwawadi, President of Pratibha Shakti, to put forth the vision and mission of the Shakti. Welcome, Madam.
Good evening, everybody. Shakti is a national organization started in 2003 and has spread across the country through its units in each state. Pratibha Shakti is the Vidarbha unit of Shakti working towards empowerment through science and technology. It holds conferences, exhibitions, debates, activities for college students, health and hygiene, holistic awareness, workshops, speech of eminent personalities, general awareness programs, projects, cultural activities, science festivals, Yuva Shakti Abhiyan, surveys, talk shows, competitions, magazines, etc. to reach the youngest to the most senior citizen. A few to name, we are conducting e-Gyan Shakti through which students are taught artificial intelligence, online citizen-centric services, cybercrime, etc. Science Festival is celebrated each year from 11th February to 28th February, wherein students participate in talk series, debates, competitions, and exhibitions on science and technology. Under Yuva Shakti Abhiyan, which is a personality development program, topics such as personal health and hygiene, education, and skill based career, food and nutrition, legal literacy, and general awareness, social responsibilities, personality behavior, and our cultural ethos and parenting is taught. This youth transformation program is a week long workshop to guide students for their future. Through Mother's Kitchen, we hold awareness programs and guidance on food as medicine and how to follow good nutrition. Today's program comes under the talk on nutrition as we celebrate September as National Nutrition Month. I hope you enjoy, understand, and follow it thoroughly. Thank you.
Thank you, madam, for your information. Now, the month of September is celebrated as National Nutrition Month for creating healthy eating patterns with the food they love. We should be very careful in selecting our food because what we eat is what we are. With the growing influence of the West on not our culture but all also on our eating habits of the younger generation, we have chosen today's topic: how junk is your food. We believe the deliberation of today's talk will have a significant impact on the young minds present with us today. It is great honor for me to introduce Dr. Pratima Shastri Madam, today's resource person. Dr. Pratima Shastri Madam is retired professor and head Department of Food Technology, Lakshmi Narayan Institute of Technology, Nagpur. She is PhD in biochemistry with a vast experience of 37 years of teaching. She has completed several research projects funded by national and international agencies. Madam has more than 40 research papers and several technical articles based on various topics like food, nutrition, and biotech to her credit. She is associated with various prestigious organizations. To name a few: Association of Food Scientists and Technologists of India, Nutritional Society of India, Indian Women Scientists Association. At present, she is president of Apanga Mahila Bal Vikas Sansta, Nagpur. Her vision is to think global and eat local. Before handing over the proceedings to Madam, a note for participants. Dear participants, if you have any queries, kindly post them in the Google Meet chat box or in the YouTube live chat. I now humbly request Dr. Pratima Shastri Madam to enlighten us on the topic: how junk is your food. Over to you, Madam.
Thank you very much. My voice is clear?
Slightly low, Madam. We can.
Okay. Okay, but now is it okay?
Huh.
Yeah. So, thank you very much, ma'am, Aruna ma'am, and Varsha ma'am, for giving me this platform to interact with the students. Interaction with students is always a pleasure. And after a teaching career of 37 years, interaction with students is always a pleasure. So I'm very happy to be with you, and especially about the topic which we have selected, as Aruna ma'am has already indicated, that what is the importance of discussing this issue, because day by day we are moving towards unhealthy food habits, and that is affecting not only our health but our immunity, which has been seen in the recent COVID period, that the immunity depends on the general health and also your nutrition. So the topic which we have selected today is the okay, snack food, fast food, junk food. In fact, these three terms are generally used alternately, and the meaning is not very clear. Let me tell you, everybody is talking about junk food. Coming to the point, everybody is talking about junk food, but what is exactly junk food? There are many ambiguities in the definition, and therefore we are going to see that what exactly means by junk food, and what can you measure the junkness? Can you be a quantitative? Can you judge it quantitatively? So the topic is how junk is your food. You are going to be the judge. I am going to just teach you, or I'm just going to not even teach you. I'm just going to tell you that what should be your pattern of thinking, and that is why let's go ahead. The Why do we eat food? Now we eat food for survival. Okay, everybody knows that we if we don't eat, we'll not survive. We are not plants that we can gather energy directly from sunlight. So we get our energy, we get our nutrients only from the food. So we eat for survival, obviously, but that is not the only reason. We eat for pleasure. Many a times we are not hungry, but we eat for pleasure. Food is a way to express your emotions. Food is a way to express the power and to give reward. I'll give you chocolate if you do your homework. And more than that, food is culture. Every different part of the world has different agricultural produce, different foods, and they have their culture. But let us come first to the survival. That food is for survival. So let's see what the food does in our body. Okay. Now, unfortunately, we are on a virtual medium. I'm not able to have an eye contact with you, and I'm not getting your responses. But I suppose that the topic is of interest to you. The comparison of a car with your body. You can very well compare a automobile with your body. An automobile needs a structure. Basically, its structure requires metal, it requires glass, it requires rubber for tires. Similarly, our body requires proteins for muscles and all parts of the body, and it also requires calcium to build up the bones and iron to have the blood volume which will circulate the oxygen. Now, second is every car needs fuel. Unless there is fuel, it will not move. Similarly, we also need energy, and the carbohydrates and the fats are the nutrients that give us energy. Then a car is not just a structure, there are then finishing points, there are some luxury points and all that. Similarly, we need micronutrients, which are vitamins, minerals, phytochemicals. They are required in very small quantity. The quantity required is very small, but they improve the performance, they make it going smooth. So these are the similarities between a car and your body. But the similarity ends here. If you do not take care of your vehicle or your car, and if it starts giving trouble, you can change the model. But that is not possible with your body. You have to run that Khatara model for the whole of your life. So I suppose you have to, the first message that I want to give you is, if you don't take care of your body, where are you going to live? Because all your dreams, all your targets, they are going to be achieved through the medium of your body. They say Sharira Madhyam Khalu Dharma Sadhanam. So your dreams are achieved through your body. So if you don't take care of your body, what will be your future? Now, talking about food culture. Now, we have talked about the nutrients, that we need carbohydrates, we need proteins, we need fats. Okay. But what is the role that also we have seen? This requirement is same everywhere on the world for every human being. So much for man, so much for woman, so much for children and all that. But the sources are different because in different parts of the world, different crops grow, different cooking practices are there, and therefore this local food culture is in harmony with the uh, living style, and therefore it is generally the healthy style. Now, coming to the present situation, because of the um, changes in technology, because of the movements, because of the changed lifestyle, we have entered into a global food culture. We no longer believe on the local food culture or the old food culture, particularly the young generation shuns from it. And then the result is we have everything in the world available at your fingertip. You just take your mobile, order your food, and in half an hour, dial for food, and the food is there. And if you don't get it in half an hour, you also get the money back. So is it not? So that is the way the things have changed. That the focus of food preparation is no longer kitchen. The focus of food preparation has moved outside, but the food that we eat has changed a lot. The evolution of junk food. When did the junk food evolve? It's not just recent that the junk food has evolved. The evolution started when the mankind was shifted from his hunter-gatherer stage to the agriculture stage. When the agriculture started, obviously there was stability. They used to stay at a particular place. There were a lot of crops, alternative things available, and the man, or not man, let us say woman, because the processing of the food and the cooking has always been the women's practice. So they had the time, they had the stability to try different combinations, and the art of cooking evolved. So with art of cooking, there were lot many combinations, lot many tastes, lot many textures, and the man realized that food is not just for survival, but it is also for pleasure. So these alternative terms are the comfort foods, luxury foods, time pass foods, which give you pleasure, which is not really necessary, which is not essential for survival, but they are for pleasure. So that is the origin of the junk food. But still, this junk food were restricted because of certain restrictions in the movement. Everywhere you couldn't get everything, and therefore this was rather restricted. But coming to the real definition of junk food, now, hence, now forward, whatever I am telling you will not find anywhere in your Google search. Let me tell you, whatever I am telling you right now, you will get very standardized and very typical stereotype definitions in Google. But if you try to really define junk food, the junk food is defined in just single word. It is called as high fat, sugar and salt and all that. But in single sentence, it can be described as food which is not wholesome is junk. They are typically high fat, salt and sugar. They are called as HFSS. So they have now how much high fat, how much salt, how much sugar, we'll come to that. But typically these are the foods which have high fat, salt and sugar. Now, if which is not wholesome is junk, let us come to the question, what is the wholesome food? So let us first define wholesome food. One which is not wholesome is the junk food. So wholesome food, it pleases your palate, it makes you happy, it satisfies the hunger. But it just doesn't satisfy your hunger, it also provides necessary nutrients. The nutrients means the hunger is just satisfied by eating calories. If you eat sufficient calories, if you eat fatty food, you don't feel hungry. But The wholesome food should provide necessary nutrients as well, the micronutrients, the phytochemicals, the proteins, and everything. A wholesome food, the distribution should be 60 to 65% calories from carbohydrates, 25 to 35% calories from fat, and 10 to 15% calories from proteins. So, your overall food should have carbohydrate rich foods like cereals. You should have calories from fat, so there should be some fat, either direct fat or indirect fat, and good source of proteins which will help you to build your body. But that doesn't mean that you should eat 50% calories from protein and you will get a very healthy diet. That is not the case. The wholesome food requires a particular distribution, and this distribution is shown here in the form of a pie chart. It is 65% carbohydrates, 15% protein, fat 20%, I mean, say 5% here or there. The wholesome food also contributes other essential nutrients. It should have enough fiber, enough vitamins and minerals. And another thing is, it shouldn't have any harmful chemicals in it, like chemical additives, chemical preservatives, and any bacteria which will harm your body, which will cause food infection or food poisoning. That is the definition of wholesome food. Now, I have just taken a typical example of a high salt, high fat, sugar food, that is potato chips, which is an example of junk food. Here we have 45% calories from carbohydrate, 50% calories, 55% calories from fat, and only 5% calories from proteins. It is from potato, so it has got very low fiber. It is fried, so it has got trans fats, it has got high salt, and it has got low vitamins and minerals. So obviously potato chips is a junk food. Okay. Now we can define junk food that has got certain characteristics. Junk foods are low in essential nutrients. Junk foods are high in calories, and these calories are empty calories. Now I'm going to tell you what is empty calories. Empty calories come from saturated fats and refined carbohydrates because they do not have essential fatty acids and fiber. They contribute excess amount of trans fats, that means undesirable substances. Coming to empty calories. These foods are rich in calories, but they lack other nutrients. They give a sense of fullness. What happens is, you eat these foods, you feel that your stomach is full. The message goes to your brain that you are full, but there are no nutrients. Now, what is the result? The result is hidden hunger. When we talk of hunger, we always think of Somalia or Medghat or certain things, or let us say Jhopadpatti. So, the boy on the left side is apparently he is hungry. His background is also matching his lifestyle. He probably doesn't have enough to eat. But would you believe that this boy is also hungry? He is also hungry, he is obese, but the kind of food he is eating, that is refined flour, refined sugar, hydrogenated fats, he is eating empty calories and he is also hungry. His body is hungry. So that is what we mean by empty calories. So the food that provides empty calories, food that is low in essential nutrients, and food that has got chemicals, preservatives, and such substances, they constitute junk food. Okay? Still, our definition is not very clear. There are many fallacies about junk food. You know, your grandmother, even I am a grandmother now. So your grandmother must be saying, pizza mat khao, burger mat khao, apna deshi khana khao, deshi ghee ka halwa khao. So, is it that everything is fine if you eat Indian? No. So there are many facts and fallacies. Then sometimes we say fast foods mat khao. Fast foods are bad. So let us have some fallacies corrected. Snack food, fast food, junk food, street foods. These are generally used interchangeably. Are these synonyms? Do they mean the same thing? Again, we are not face to face. I am not able to see your responses because your videos are also muted, not open. But I would like to have your opinion, I mean, I want you to think about it. I want you to think about it, that do you think that they are synonyms? And if you think that they are synonyms, the answer is no. When you say snack food is anything in between the meals. Anything in between the meals is snack food. Snack food is essential part of our meal pattern, particularly for the youngsters like you who have a lot of energy. You have to spend a lot of energy, you have to do a lot of work. And therefore, I mean, not the work sitting in front of the TV or something. I suppose that you do some physical work and you move around, and not just spend your time like a couch potato. So if you are spending energy, it is essential part of our meal, and it helps to sustain your energy. So you have two types of snacks. There are ready to eat snacks. They have long shelf life. You just pick up from the box and eat. Then there are freshly prepared snacks like paratha, sandwich, poha. Okay? So snack foods are well defined now. Snack foods are not junk foods. There are some snacks which are junk, but snack food doesn't mean junk food. Now, what is fast food? Fast food was coined, this word was coined in 1951. It refers to the food which is sold in easily accessible joints. Actually, 1951 is quite a recent, we can say, because preparation of food is an age old pattern. So, the fast food word coined in 1951 is a very recent word, we should say. So, this is sold when people started moving out. The accessible food joints were established at the travel joints, and they provided some food which could be eaten on the move. It will satisfy the hunger and the palate. So the main thing is, certain part of the food is prepared earlier, it is already prepared, and some activities like mixing or steaming or frying and all, that is done just prior to the serving. That means as soon as the order comes, you can prepare the food and give it. Like you can put it, I mean, if you're moving around in USA or something, you can see that there is a food joint around, say, 2 miles away. You just give a call and ask him to keep your food ready. You just drive your car, pick up the food and drive away and eat the food. That is what we call as the fast food. So fast food is something which is not necessarily junk food. Fast food has a different meaning. There are Indian fast foods, there are Western fast foods. Then the street foods. Street foods are something which are sold on a this corner, on a busy corner. And again, most of them are fast foods like chola bhatura. Chola will be prepared and bhatura will be fried on the side, or bhel will be there, it will be mixed on the side like that. Now, technically speaking or nutritionally speaking, we cannot say that all street foods are nutritionally bad. Chola bhatura is a healthy food, but the main problem is the safety. You can catch infections from the safe food, say street foods, because the ambience is not good, because the hygiene is not maintained. So street foods are not junk foods that way, but they are not safe. So that is about the clear-cut definition of the four terms. There is another fallacy. All fast foods and snack foods are junk foods. So now, since I have given you all the definitions, I suppose you realize every snack food is not junk food. The foods which are mentioned in red are junk. There are ready to eat foods like chips and farsan which are junk. There are ready to eat healthy foods also. Similarly, fast foods, samosa, kachori, burger are junk because they are fried. And fast foods like bhed, idli, dhokla, they are not junk, they are healthy. So you can have a snack which is fast but which is still healthy. Okay? So a permutation combination of fast, snack, junk, everything. I mean, don't get jumbled with these terms. Sort it out and try to identify what is junk and what is not junk. Another fallacy that is generally with the grandmothers, that all traditional foods are healthy, traditional food habits are healthy, and all non traditional foods are junk. Let me tell you, junkness of the food has no geographical boundaries. If noodles or pizza is being eaten, noodles in eastern part, East Asian countries, and pizza in Italy is being eaten for centuries, Obviously, it is not junk because generations have survived on that. If generations have survived on that, obviously the food is not a unhealthy food. But the problem is when we think of this Italian pizza or burger or Chinese noodles, they are not familiar to us. We generally go and eat it in a restaurant or we order it from a food chain. Now, here, when we go to a restaurant or when you go to a commercial outlet, the only concern is having a taste, good taste, spicy taste, interesting taste, and attractive thing. Then they may have leftovers which are added into it, and in order to cover that, they may add some spices, they may add some preservatives, and like that. So it is not the basically pizza or the noodles or the burgers which are bad, but it is the choice which you make. If you order a pizza with extra cheese, then obviously you are going to get more cheese and more fat. But if you order a pizza with vegetables and less cheese, the pizza may be healthy. Similar goes with Chinese noodles. If you don't add that extra dash of soya sauce, you will be eating less monosodium glutamate. So that is all the Western foods are not bad. All the Indian foods are also not good. Samosa is equally bad. And the trouble lies is that the restaurants have only standard combinations. They won't eat various vegetables on the pizza and they have unreasonable amount of fat to make it attractive in the form of toppings. So that is the reason why these foods are junk foods if they are not selected properly or if they are ordered from the professional joints. Now the fallacies, beverages. Oh, beverages, they are 95% water. So they are liquids. Anything add ink doesn't make much difference. No. There are beverages you can see. Carbonated beverages are definitely junk because there are no nutrients in that carbonated beverage. In addition to that, they have some anti-nutritional factors like phosphoric acids, they have tannins, they have artificial flavors. The tannins interact with the calcium and they prevent absorption of calcium. Phosphoric acid also prevents absorption of calcium. So whatever calcium you are taking, you take it with carbonated drink, the calcium is not available to the body. Tea and coffee. They have some nutrients like antioxidants, but they have tannins and caffeine. Caffeine gives you like hyper sensitivity, and the tannins bind with calcium. Fruit beverages, on the other hand, they have got vitamin A, vitamin C, and the minerals. But if you drink them with lot of sugar, then that may be harmful. Buttermilk and chilled milk, they are very healthy beverages. Nariyal pani is a good beverage. Then fallacy, beer and wine. Well, actually, earlier didn't used to talk about beer and wine in the college students, but I realize now that it is necessary because with the open community and with the open thinking, students are trying beer and wine and alcohol, and there are many fallacies about that. What they feel, beer has less alcohol and beer that is safe. Let me tell you, beer has 5% alcohol, wine has 8 to 9% alcohol. Hard drinks like rum and whiskey, they have around 40% alcohol, 30 to 40% alcohol, but they are taken diluted with water or soda. So it comes down to around 8% alcohol. So having a bottle of beer and having two pegs of whiskey are one and the same. More than that, alcohol in any form is alcohol, and the alcohol has bad effect on your liver. It causes cirrhosis of liver and many other problems. I'll not go into details of that because we have to concentrate more on food and not on the health. But any doctor will tell you that why alcohol is bad. Second thing is, the key question is how much and how frequently. The line between social drinking and compulsive drinking is very easily crossed, especially especially in the youth, where the peer pressure is very high. And then you reach to a point of no return. You spoil your health, you spoil your profession, you spoil your family life, and it also damages your self respect. So it is up to you whether you want this or you don't want it. It's all your choice. So when we have seen all these details, that what is junk, what is not junk, we have cleared some fallacies. I think we have realized that no food is 100% junk. It is just imbalance of the nutrients. It is imbalance of nutrients that leads to junkness or the healthiness. So, a food is a food. Food is meant for eating. I will never say that this is a junk food and you don't eat it. Even if it is junk, it is a food. And if it is a food, it must be eaten. But the junkness depends on several factors. The first factor and the most important one is the composition of that food. What are the ingredients and what are the final nutrients in the food? And that determines the junkness. But not only that, the junkness is also determined by the portion size and the frequency. Okay, I'll come to this one by one. The third point is combination with other foods, and the fourth is exercise. Now let us come to the food composition. Food composition can be picked from the label. Now, labels, there is a mandate, it is mandatory for any packed food to give the nutrition composition on the label, and it is for you and me. It is for the consumers that the government has made it mandatory. So it is for us to read the labels. The information is there. I'm again telling you, the ball is in your court. The information is there on the labels, and you have to read the information and you have to make the choice. You can't say that somebody is forcing me to eat. So, see the list of ingredients, see the nutrient label pattern, per 100 gram it is given, and see the recommended portion size. Now, if the recommended portion size is 35 grams and you eat 100 grams of that food, obviously you are crossing the recommended portion size. And at the end, you see FSSAI license, date of manufacture, and all that, and then finally see the brand and MRP. First, check all these information on the label. Now, what do you realize about junkness when you read the labels? There are certain points which will help you to decide the junkness index, and that comes to the main, our theme. How junk is your food? We want to know how junk is your food. So, junkness index is any food providing 550 calories per 100 gram is a junk food, likely to be a junk food. But if you eat just small quantity, that is different. Food with less percent protein, less than 8% protein, food with more than 8% protein provides enough proportion of protein calories. Food with less than 6% protein, sorry, there is a mistake on my side. Less than 6% proteins has high amount of carbohydrates. Any food with more than 30% fat is likely to contribute more fat calories. Saturated fats and trans fats. Saturated fats and trans fats are unhealthy, whereas polyunsaturated fatty acid, if PUFA content is mentioned, PUFA is healthy. PUFA is good. Carbohydrates. When you say total carbohydrates, there is added sugar, total carbohydrates and added sugar. Out of total carbohydrates, starch is healthy, but more than 20% added sugar is empty calories. Salt content. It should not exceed 2 grams per meal. List of additives and preservatives. Safety of permitted additives and preservatives is based on the assumption that there will be a specific average intake. But that is never mentioned on the label. Remember, it is never mentioned on the label that if you eat, say, 50 grams of this food every day, the preservatives or chemicals and all that, your body will take care of that. It is never written, but the allowances are fixed on that. So if you cross the limit, you are going to cross the safe level of the consumption of additives and the chemicals. So, based on these, when you see the label, there are 10 points and you ask if the calories are more than 50, protein less than 6, fat more than 80, added sugar more than 20, fiber less than 2, and then does it contain this? So there are 10 questions. If question to 6 questions is positive, then you have to use a traffic signal. More than 6 is a red. It indicates red. Red means don't cross. I won't say don't eat. I will say be very cautious. If it is 2 to 6, then think about it. And if it is only 2 are positive, it is green signal. you can eat that food as much as you want without any restriction. So these are the food signals. You can apply these food signals to beverages, like synthetic beverages are red, fresh fruit juices are green, and processed packed juices are yellow. Similarly for snacks, poha, idli, upma, then puri, machi, fried snacks, you have to be cautious. And chips and cakes and all that, that should be just occasional. The same thing is with this. So I think you have understood this food signals concept. So think before you eat. As you stop on a crossroad, think before you eat. The second point, which we have seen in the factors which affect junk food, is frequency and encroachment of regular meals. It is not that you eat samosa once in a while, it's going to harm you. Or if you eat a burger once in a week, it's going to harm you. Our body is very resilient, it copes up with very many insults. But if you eat it regularly and if it encroaches on your regular healthy meal, then it is a problem. If you continue to eat this and do not eat your healthy meal, I mean, I'll just take a day. The day starts in the morning, you get up late, you are late for the college, you don't take breakfast, your mummy gives you tiffin, maybe you forget it purposefully, or you take it and you go to the college. You feel hungry at 8:30 or 9 o'clock and so, or 10 o'clock. There is still time for eating your tiffin. So you go to canteen, eat samosas. Then samosa or anything else. Then you don't feel like eating your tiffin. You either take it back to home or eat just small quantity of it. You reach home, again you are hungry, you have tea, you have some biscuits. Then you go for a birthday party, eat a big loaf of cake, and then Fanta or Coca-Cola or something, and the dessert and everything. So what did you have in the whole day? So it is encroachment on the regular meals. If you have a junk snack once in a day, what you combine it with? So combination with other foods is very important. A typical combination which is given by this combo meal. Combo meal is one burger with potato chips and a carbonated beverage. That is a deadly combination. So even if you take a combo meal, keep the French fries, you eat it sometimes else, and drink the carbonated beverage some other time, and drink a fresh fruit beverage with it. Then of course lifestyle and the physical activity. The lifestyle and physical activity, if the lifestyle allows accumulation of calories, you are going to accumulate these calories, and the food will be, the coupled with the lack of appetite for wholesome food. Now, when you replace regular meals with junk food, what will be the effects? The first and foremost effect is the obesity. Long-term positive energy balance, energy is more, expenditure is less, and the obesity leads to cardiovascular problems, diabetes, hypertension in the latter age. Not now. It is not now that you are going to face it, but after 40s, these are, there is a substantial evidence which proves that consumption of unhealthy food habits that leads to obesity, and obesity is related to this, and other effects of malnutrition during adolescence. So actually you should consider this time as an investment in the diet. A proper diet should be considered an investment, as we invest today so that we get the returns in your latter life. When you invest something, obviously you are putting away some of your income. You can spend all your income in your luxury, but what you do, you you bear some inconveniences, you keep some income for the latter life so that it will be available. Similarly, you have to shun away some of your um, cravings and eat a healthy diet where you have all the food groups in it, you have all the vegetables, green vegetables, and consider this diet as an investment. Because, and I'm not just telling you that it is an investment, I'm giving you the reason for that. Maximum bone mass is accumulated between 20 to 25 years of the age. When you eat, whatever you eat, the calcium is retained in your body, has a tendency to retain the calcium up to the age of 25 to 30 years. And after that, even if you eat the same calcium or even if you continue to eat osteocalcium tablets, body has a tendency to lose more calcium. Here you will see the input is same, but the output here is less, so more is retained. Here the output is more and less is retained. So support your bones up to the age of 30 years so that they support you in your latter life. And that is why consider food as an investment. Consider calcium rich foods like milk and all so that they will support you later in your life. Nutrition as investment for girls or women is still more important because it is the investment not only for your own health but it is for the future generation. Bonus of this investment is returned in the form of a healthy life, your own healthy life and healthy child. The special message for girls: your nutrition is not just your nutrition. You have to be healthy, that is sure, but women's nutritional responsibility is not restricted to herself. Proper nourishment and good birth weight is the best legacy, and this is given only by a mother to her child. Only a mother can give good birth weight. And let me tell you, um, India has got 32% low birth weight babies, and we top the world in this issue. That is, maximum low birth weight babies are born in India, 32%. We are thinking of Olympics and having highest toppers in Olympics and all. But this is definitely not a good top position. So, and proper nourishment of the mother in her adolescence reflects on the birth weight of the child. That is also a well proven fact that giving good nutrition during adolescence gives low birth weight, avoids low birth weight. So therefore, today's adolescent has to take care of her diet for healthy children. I am sure girls are saying we are not thinking of the childbirth right now. But what I am saying, you are thinking about your passing your MBA entrance exam, you are thinking about your jobs and all that. This is also a part of your life. So you must think about it right now. As you are planning for your career, you must plan for this also. Now we come to how to make the right choice. Here, I will say do not get carried away by advertisements. Today, we are very much prone to getting your knowledge from Google. I mean, not only advertisements, don't get carried away by Google. Advertisements are not for advertisements are meant to increase the market share of that product. Remember, advertisements may say that this is for your health, this is for your child's health, this is for women's health, this is for this is for that. Okay, the facts are not wrong, but their main concern is increasing their market share. So you can have very well alternatives around you in the local foods which will give you the same nutrients. Definitely you need calcium, definitely you need protein. I mean the protein X gives protein, the Horlicks gives calcium and all that. But you can get it from other items also. Second thing is the read labels carefully. I already told you what you have to read in the cable, read in the label and compare the cost against nutrition. So get the worth for your money. If you are spending your money, consider the expenditure on the food against the nutrients that you get. Now just see the comparison of nutrition and cost. I have done this calculation and this you will not get anywhere. No Google search, no internet search is going to give you this. I have calculated this personally. I have sat with the labels and I have read the cost, I have read the nutrients, I have read it and then I have calculated it. So if you see the cost per 100 gram, you will see that the Choco, I mean, again, I have nothing against any company or any brand. This is just to give you the facts. The Choco has got maximum cost. If you want to get 100 calories from that, the cost is around 10 rupees or 12 rupees or so. And if you get 1 gram of protein from Chocos, the cost is around 6 rupees or so. If you have Dalia, Chana ka Dalia, the cost is less than 10 rupees 100 grams and the cost per gram of protein and per gram of per 100 calories is also low. Similarly for sweets, Similarly, for sweets and snacks, everywhere you can compare. I'm just giving you an idea. You sit with the label, calculate the cost, calculate the calories which are given there. This cost gives you this many calories. This cost gives you this much of protein. What is the cost per 100 calories and per 100 grams of protein? Okay? Everything is in your hand. Labels are there, information is there. You have to process it and you have to select what is good for you because you are spending the money and you are eating it. See, up to age of 2 years or so, the child is fed by the mother. Say up to the age of 5 years. After that, it is your hands, your mouth, and your money. So what you put in your mouth, it goes into your body, and that makes for your health. That goes for your health. So again, for beverages, the cost per 100 ml, cost for 100 calories, and cost per gram of protein. So coming to that, what are the good alternatives? I would say dial for a pizza and wait for 30 minutes to get that pizza. There are so many options available at your home. There is leftover food. You can have chapati wrapped with a dal, vegetable, salads, and sprouts. We can prepare noodles with soya or chunks or boiled eggs, slices. This is not the noodles that you order from the restaurant. The noodles that you prepare at home, you can have the option of having atta noodles, or you can have noodles where many vegetables you are adding from your home. You can add boiled egg and you can have less soya sauce. You can have leftover rice with paneer and all. How much time it takes to make these? It definitely takes less than 30 minutes. Okay? So you wait for 30 minutes, pizza is delivered in 30 minutes. But just think about it that if at the latter age you have some problems, you have some critical health situation, would you be able to get an ambulance in 30 minutes? If you call for ambulance, will the ambulance will be available in 30 minutes? Just give a thought for that. Now it's almost time. I think the time is also a limitation. There are some friends and there are some foes. I'll just tell you what you should avoid and what you can eat, whatever you want in whatever quantities. Instead of high fat snacks, select for traditional snacks, low fat snacks like idli and poha, upma, etc. Then fruit salads, sprouts, milk, yogurt. These are all fermented foods. These are all your friends. And on the right side, refined flours, aerated drinks, foods containing chemical additives, fried foods, unhygienic food. Food may be good, but if it is in a unhygienic atmosphere, it is again not healthy because it may give you infection. So don't eat unsafe food. And some special tips: do not skip breakfast. Have a healthy breakfast. Have a healthy breakfast which will give you sufficient energy and proteins and like it should sustain for your day. Drink lot of water. Water doesn't have a nutrition value, but water helps the nutrients to be absorbed. The water helps the food to become liquid and it helps the absorption of the nutrients because it gets the nutrients in the soluble form and they can dissolve. Include enough fiber because fiber helps you to retain your food more in the intestine so that there is sufficient time for absorption. Include colorful and live foods. Colorful means all colors of vegetables, and live foods is salads, sprouts, which are not cooked. So the live foods give you vitamin C, and live foods give you some antioxidants which are destroyed on cooking. All colors, red colored, orange colored foods give you vitamin A, green colored give you vitamin C, iron, and carotenes. So include fresh fruits and vegetables. Avoid irregular meals. Balance calorie output and input by proper eating and exercise. If you eat more, exercise more. You see, and this you have to do yourself. You see, you can ask your friend to give you a proxy in the class that I'm not coming to the class. You just say yes, madam, for me. But you cannot eat and ask your friend to do exercise. That I'm eating this particular thing or I'm eating ice cream and you do exercise for me. That is, you have to manage yourself. It is your responsibility. avoid alcohol, tobacco, and drugs. So, what I would say, your nutrition is your responsibility. Your health is your responsibility, but health is a very big thing. There are infections like COVID was there. What you could do? COVID was there in the atmosphere, so you can get an infection, you can get some unfamiliar things, you can get go into an, you can have an accident or something, or you can have some injury that is related to health. But at least your nutrition is definitely your concern, and it is in your hands. Your nutrition is in your hands. Whatever you eat with your hands is your nutrition. Remember always, food satisfies the sense for few minutes, it satisfies hunger for few hours, but the effects on health and the well-being are long lasting. So our honorable prime minister has called for vocal for local, that you should go for local, you should promote local. In fact, it is 10 years ago, we had coined a word, think global, eat local, which Aruna madam has said in my introduction, that our organization here where I work, it's an NGO and we have a nutrition center. So our nutrition center works with the motto, think global, eat local. And this was coined, I'm happy to say that this was coined 10 years ago, and we work according to that. So vocal for local is the call by Honorable Prime Minister. So let us promote the food. Wish you a happy meal and a healthy life. This is a healthy meal platter. This platter tells you, this platter tells you what you should have in your meals. And the the platter just doesn't tell you that what you should have. It also tells you in what quantity. That means the this is the part. This part is for cereals and grains. Your diet should contain this much of cereals. It should have so much of the fresh fruits and vegetables. You will think that itna zyada khaunga to kya hoga. It is all, you see, the fresh fruits and vegetables have a lot of water, whereas all the grains or the pulses, they absorb water in cooking. So when you eat 1 cup of rice, it is less than 50 grams of rice. So in weight, if you eat so much of vegetables, and then pulses and flesh foods which give you protein, nuts and oil seeds, they also give you proteins. Fats and oil should be in a very small quantity. So this should be the healthy platter, and this should be supported with a dairy product, either milk, curd, or buttermilk. So your diet should contain all this at least in a complete day. If not in a single meal, at least in the total daily diet, you would have this compensation of your healthy diet. And the message is, wish you a happy meal. Let your meal be, let your meal give you a pleasure. Let you enjoy your meal, and at the same time, be happy and be healthy. So that is the message. And I'm going to share two movies. They are just 2-minute movies. And should I share it or should I share it after question answers?
Madam, you can share it now only.
Okay. So there are two movies. One movie is about just what I said about mm, think global, eat local, and I mean the motive and the activities that we carry out in our Ashadeep Nutrition Center. So that movie tells you about that. Okay. Mm, yes.
रसिको नमस्कार. अपंग महिला बाल विकास संस्थेच्या आशादी पोषण व आरोग्य केंद्रातर्फे आपल्या सगळ्यांचं मनपूर्वक स्वागत. पोषक आहारात गुंतवणूक म्हणजे आरोग्याची हमी. त्यातही कोरोना व्हायरस सारख्या भयावह आजाराचा झपाट्यानं प्रसार होत असताना आपल्या शरीराची रोगप्रतिकार शक्ती वाढवणं अत्यंत आवश्यक आहे. म्हणूनच आशादी पोषण व आरोग्य केंद्र घेऊन येत आहे सकस आणि सुरस पाककृती. करायला सोप्या, चवीला उत्कृष्ट आणि मुख्य म्हणजे घरातील सगळ्या वयोगटातल्या सदस्यांना आवडणारे. या रेसिपीज प्रत्येक परिवारासाठी आणि परिवारातल्या प्रत्येकासाठी आहेत. आहारात हवे रोज मिश्र धान्य, पौष्टिक म्हणून हे साऱ्या जगाला मान्य. म्हणूनच बहुगुणी नाचणी आणि इतरही सर्व धान्यांपासून तयार केलेली पीठं आशादी केंद्रावर विक्रीसाठी.
Movie is not visible.
त्या पीठांपासून
Are you not able to see movie?
रेसिपींची माहिती
No,
No, it
no,
is.
not at all.
It is
It is visible.
It is visible.
Are you not going to? Are you not able to see?
It is
Ma'am,
visible.
it is visible.
It is visible.
पोषक आहारात खंड पडू नये यासाठी आशादीपतर्फे अनेक रेडीमिक्स पिठांची रेंज उपलब्ध करून देण्यात आली आहे. लक्षात
Madam, please share the PPT.
म्हणूनच आशादीप पोषण व आरोग्य केंद्र संकल्पना प्रतिमा शास्त्री अनघा नासेरी निवेदन आसावरी देशपांडे.
सर वॉल्यूम नहीं है का याला?
Voice is very low.
Only audio is there.
हाँ voice is not there.
Voice is not there.
Voice is very slow,
Very slow.
Okay, but I don't think.
but movie is not visible at all.
Movie. Could you not see the movie?
Madam, let it be first.
Yes.
First we will have the question.
Okay.
It is visible on YouTube. It is visible on YouTube.
Okay, okay.
Okay, I'll share the YouTube links. Let us see this movie whether it is available. I mean whether you can see that. The other one. Okay, let us have the question answers then.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that is why I thought that we can have the movies later on also.
Okay. Okay, thank you, madam. Thank you very much for your nice lecture. And the,
I suppose I have not crossed the time limit.
no, you have, but it was so engrossing, and the term you had coined, that food is an investment. That is the best part. That we are doing investment in so many other things, but the word that it is given, that is, food is an investment. It is a real new concept for all of us. Thank you, madam, for an engrossing and encapsulating talk. It was seamless transition from one slide to another. Your subject matter expertise is fully commendable and worth applauding. I would like to hand over the proceedings of question answers session to Dr. Manu Jose, sir. Over to you, sir. Please.
Thank you, madam. Madam, shall we proceed with the questions raised by our participants? Madam, am I audible?
Yeah, yes, I am.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible.
Okay, madam. The first question is, which are fiber-rich food?
Yeah. Rich in fiber. Most of the whole grains are rich in fiber. Like wheat. When we prepare maida or suji from that, the fiber is gone. But even then wheat, the millets, the like sorghum and other things, they are rich in fiber. Then fruits, vegetables, these are particularly rich in fibers. And if you try to take fruit juice, rather eat a whole fruit rather than taking the juice, because with the fruit you get the fiber and you also get the vitamin C and other nutrients which are lost during the processing. When you take a canned or fruit juice in a Tetra pack, vitamin C is reduced and the fiber is removed. So fruits, vegetables, whole grains, these are good sources of fiber. And all the refined foods, like the refined, the bread prepared from maida, it's not a good thing.
Okay, madam. And the next question is oats is a good food to eat? Oats.
Oats, yes. Oats, I mean, I'll not say oats, I mean, I'll definitely say oats are good. There is a, like, people are going for oats like mad. They would say, even if, I mean, some of them like it, some of them don't like it. But let me tell you, oats are good because oats contain fiber. They have some polysaccharides which are not digested, and so it acts as fiber. Oat has more protein as compared to other grains. But let me tell you that it is not that there are no alternatives to oats. There are grains like rasgira is there, and even our, if we make a judicious combination of the normal flours which we are using, like some cereals and some legumes and all that, so a judicious combination of different grains can give you the same effect. So if you like oat, if you want to eat, it is good. I don't say it is not good, but I'm just thinking from the cost point of view that if you want to save, it is not necessary that you must eat oats. Oats are definitely good.
Okay, madam. That's all about the questions. Thank you, madam. Madam, it was a very informative session. The ease with which you addressed all the questions speak about your humble nature and pristine stature. I am sure your thoughts and guidance on this topic will definitely help all of our participants gain a better perspective and become aware about proper diet. I now take this opportunity to propose a formal vote of thanks. It gives me great pleasure to thank Dr. Pratibha Shastri for her wonderful presentation and the insight on the subject which she has deliberated on. I am thankful to our management and respected principal, Dr. K.T. Thomas, for constant support and continuous encouragement to organize webinars like this. I am also thankful to Ms. Varsha Tatwawadi, President of Shakti, and all the members of Pratibha Shakti, staff and students of SFS College, and all other participants for making the program a grand success. Lastly, but importantly, we are thankful to our technical team of Ms. Namrata, Ms. Kavita, Ms. Surabhi, Ms. Reshmi, and Mr. Amar Pimbalkar. Without their support, this program would not have been possible. Thank you once again to everyone for attending this program and making it a grand success. Please give the feedback.
If you
Hello.
allow, I can just share this movie, which is prepared by Government of India, and that is for Eat Right campaign. Just a 2 minutes movie. Can you see the screen?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Screen is visible, but movie is not there.
Movie is not there?
No.
No, I'm sharing the screen, but actually,
You are sharing the screen,
but the sound is not there, or the movie is not there.
it is completely empty.
It's completely empty. Okay, I don't know.
Is it available on YouTube, sir?
Yes, it is available on YouTube. I'll share the link.
Okay.
Okay, it's available on YouTube, and I'll
Okay,
share the link.
Okay, madam.
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely suggest that it should be shared.
Yes, yes, madam. On our group, we will definitely share.
Yeah, surely.
Yes. So finally, I thank you all, madam. All.
Ma'am,
Huh?
now is it possible to share the PPT in the group?
We will give this information in the group only. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Huh. Finally,
Hello,
I thank.
madam.
Huh?
Hello, madam.
Huh?
I want to ask something. One question.
Okay.
Actually, suppose a particular food is taken from the market. So, based on looking the content, how will decide that it is a junk food or like that?
I think I've given you those tips that you have to see the fat content, you have to see the calories, the protein content, whether there are any. There is a list of ingredients. Every packed food is required to give a list of ingredients. So if the ingredient says that there are some additives, there are some color prep, there are some preservatives, if it is saying refined flour or not. So the 10 points are there, which will give you an idea. And as you say, it's not a black and white thing. This is junk and this is not junk. It is a range. More junk, less healthy, more healthy.
And a slice that you have shown that nutrient requirement per 100 gram, it is for one particular day.
No, that is 100 gram is a way to express the nutrient content. Generally, it may be given, it may not be given. But generally, some of the uh, foods they say that the portion is this, suggested portion.
Right.
One portion is this much. But the content is given as 100 grams. So if
Okay.
it is given, like there is a farsan or this thing, the content is given per 100 gram. It doesn't mean that you should eat 100 gram. If instead of 100 gram you eat just 30 grams, you are going to get that much calories, 1/3 of the calories.
Right. Thank you.
Okay, fine. I thank you, madam, for your nice, informative talk, and I think everybody of you must have enjoyed this webinar and got all of you must have this thought provoking, and best part is invest in your food in proper way to get your life healthy. So that was the message which we will take with us. Thank you all for attending this
Thank you,
webinar.
ma'am.
Thank you, madam, once again. Jai Hind, Jai Maharashtra.
It was pleasure.
Thank you.
It
Thank
was
you,
a
madam.
pleasure.
Thank you,
Very
ma'am.
good
Thank you,
session.
madam.
But I,
Hope,
but I again
It was a very good session.
express my thing that I just crossed the time limit. I wanted to be in time, but the topic was so this thing that I wanted to.
no, it's all right, madam.
I
Thank
wanted
you
to
very much.
express it. Yes.
Okay.
So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks again.